There are two kinds of retirees, and they almost never understand each other. One sold nearly everything they own, and tonight they're falling asleep in a city they'd never seen a month ago. The other one is sitting in the same chair in the same living room with the same cup of coffee that they've had every morning for 15 years. And they are completely at peace. Both of them are doing retirement exactly right. Hi, I'm Michelle, and on my channel we talk about creating a peaceful, confident life after 50, especially if you're living alone, traveling solo, or navigating retirement. I retired at 50, and the biggest question I had to answer wasn't about money. It was this: do I want freedom or do I want roots? Because the answer changes everything. Where your money goes, how you structure your days, even who you see on a regular basis. The path that gets all of the attention online, the nomadic retiree. This is the person who looked at their 3-bedroom house full of stuff and asked, what if I just didn't? Nomadic retirees travel frequently, but usually not in the same way that tourists do. Most of them slow travel. They'll spend a month here, 6 weeks there, a season with their grandkids. Some live in RVs full-time and follow the weather, and housing sometimes could come from short-term rentals, monthly furnished apartments, or house sitting, which, by the way, could mean living in a beautiful home for free in exchange for watering plants and feeding someone's cat. The core of this is minimalism. You can't drag a garage full of holiday decorations across 3 countries. So these folks shed the material weight of their old lives, sometimes down to just a couple suitcases. And here's why some people like it, for 3 big reasons. First, the obvious one: new environments, new food, new streets, new weather, new people. Novelty keeps our brain awake in a way routine never will. And second, no property maintenance, no lawn, no roof. For a lot of people, walking away from home maintenance feels like retiring all over again. And third, the psychological piece. You're not tied down. There's a lightness to knowing that you can leave. If a place doesn't suit you, you're gone in a week. Your life fits into a bag, and that bag goes wherever you point it. Now the drawbacks. The packing never stops. Every few weeks, everything you own goes back into the suitcase. It might be charming for the first year, but it could become a little daunting. Also, no permanent support system nearby. When you get the flu in a foreign city, there's no neighbor bringing soup, no doctor who's known you for years, and no friend 10 minutes away. Community takes time to build. And if you're already living alone, this one might deserve some serious thought. And finances can be unpredictable. Travel costs fluctuate. Health insurance gets complicated across borders and even across state lines. A settled retiree can tell you their monthly costs within a couple $100s. A nomad often can't, and if budget uncertainty spikes your stress, that really matters. Now the other path, the one that doesn't get so much social media attention, but probably is the majority of people, the settled retiree. This path centers on a fixed base. Either you keep the home you're in or you buy a place that you intend to grow old in. This style looks like where the home becomes the hub, where the workshop is, where the garden is, where the grandkids' bedroom is always ready. And your days run on local rhythms: the Monday class, the Thursday coffee group, and the neighbor that you wave at every morning. Same faces, same places, deepening over the years. And some people love it. There's an emotional security of a paid off or nearly paid off home. The asset under your feet is a psychological foundation, not just a financial one. Then there's customization. This is your space. Paint any wall, build the craft room, rip out the tub and put in the walk-in shower. Nomads live in other people's furniture. Settled retirees live inside a space shaped exactly to them. And that shaping is a genuine pleasure. And the routine itself. We talk about routines like it's a trap, but for a lot of people, predictable daily rhythms are the whole point. Coffee in the same chair, the same walking route, waving at the same neighbor. Research on aging says stable routines and strong local ties support both health and longevity. But there are also drawbacks. The house never stops billing you. Maintenance can run 1 to 2% of the home's value every year on average. Property taxes climb whether your income does or not. Insurance keeps rising. A paid-off home is not a free home. The maintenance isn't just money, it's also labor. The gutters, the lawn, the endless list. Some people love the puttering. Others realize they've retired into a part-time job as their own property manager. And the hard one, the risk that the home becomes a burden. If health or mobility changes, the 2-story house with the big yard can flip from a sanctuary to a trap. Stairs you can't climb, a yard you can't keep up on. Too much house and a body that no longer matches it. Settled retirees need an honest answer to, does this house work for me at 75 or 85? But sometimes staying home is just a feeling. There doesn't have to be a financial reason, a health reason, or even a family reason. For some people, staying in their home simply feels like the right thing to do. Deciding where to retire, whether that's at home, on the road, or in a senior living community, is a gut feeling as much as a calculation. Your retirement is uniquely yours. You don't owe anyone a justification. Now, what do you do if you've listened to both of those and thought, but I want pieces of all of it? There's good news. There's a third path. And a lot of retirees end up landing here after trying one of the extremes. When I spend a month living in another city, I'm not trying to escape my life. I simply give myself the opportunity to experience something different. I love finding new coffee shops, walking different neighborhoods, and living like a local instead of a tourist. Here's how the middle path can work. You could have a small, low-maintenance place to live, like an apartment, a condo, a townhome, something where the outside is someone else's problem, and possibly the big stuff inside too. This is your structure, your place to land, where your doctor, your dentist, and your mail, your community all live while you're away. Then you travel in blocks, not just 2-week vacations, multi-month trips, 2 months here, 6 months there, 6 weeks near one of your kids, a January where it's somewhere warm. You just lock the door, walk away, and then you come back to your own home when the trip is over. You get the security and the community of the settled path, plus the novelty and freedom of the nomadic path, without the big drawbacks of either. No endless yard work because you downsize to a low-maintenance home. No rootlessness because your home is always waiting. The trade-offs, to be fair, you're funding both a home and travel, so the budget has to carry both. And downsizing into that condo means letting go of a lot of stuff up front. And traveling in month or long blocks takes planning. But if you can make the numbers work, this hybrid is for many people. It can be the best of both worlds. Some retirees even rent out their home base while they're gone, and the rental income funds the trip. That's the kind of simple income stream that makes this whole lifestyle sustainable. So how do you choose? There's a few questions that can cut through the noise. One is, what is your idea of an ordinary day? Not an ideal vacation, your ordinary days. If you picture your garden and your kitchen and your living room, you might be a settler. If the picture keeps changing cities and different neighborhoods, you might lean more nomad. Also ask, how do you recharge? Novelty or familiarity? Neither answer is better, but your answer is probably already true about you, and retirement will amplify it, not change it. And where is your support system, and how much do you need it close, especially if you live alone? Be truthful with yourself here. And what happens if your health changes? The nomad needs a re-entry plan. The settler needs a house that can age with them. The home baser needs the right home base. And finally, after all 4 questions, listen to your gut. You've been making decisions for 50 plus years. You know the difference between a choice that looks good on paper and one that feels right in your body. This is a feelings eligible decision. Trust that. In the description, there's a link to Design the Retirement You Actually Want workbook. It's a workbook that I designed, and it helps walk you through all of these questions and more. But here's the bottom line. The nomad isn't running from anything, and the settler isn't settling for anything. They just answered the same questions differently. What does peace look like for me? And none of these choices are permanent. Plenty of people nomad for 3-4 years and then go buy the condo. Plenty of settlers sell at 68 and then hit the road. You're allowed to change your mind. So tell me in the comments, are you a nomad, a settler, or a mixture? And if you've already chosen, what surprised you the most? Thank you so much for watching.